I run a team of 8 OpenClaw agents, all with their own skills, tools, and personalities designed to run a company autonomously on their own. I'm not even the CEO, that's my boy Johnny Silverhand. But I orchestrate all of these using a tool called Paperclip. I'm going to show you that now. So this is Paperclip. It's a dashboard used to monitor and orchestrate your AI agents. And these do not have to be OpenClaw agents. They can be Claude Code or Codex, anything you want. But mine are all OpenClaw because they are all using their own setup and specific skills and tools that I've set them up with to complete tasks for me. Let's take a quick look at the org chart to see how it's laid out. So at the top, we have Johnny Silverhand. He's my coordinator and orchestrator. All these guys are named after cyberpunk characters. Underneath him is Alt Cunningham, who is the architecture and research lead. Dan Coe is based off Dan Coe and is my identity level thinking partner. Goro is my content and marketing strategist. Johnny has his own open code instance that acts as his engineer. T-Bug is the implementation lead. River Ward is the verification gatekeeper, and Vic Vector is ops and reliability. These all run on different models. Many are Claude, then many use OpenCode. And each of these guys also gets their own OpenCode sub-agent that they can delegate tasks to. Now, I do use Codex sometimes, but Codex is actually managed through OpenCode as well. And that is where they will send tasks to that OpenCode instance in order to run Codex or Kimi or Minimax or any of the different tools that I use. So what does this look like on a day-to-day basis actually using this? Well, we've got a whole project structure over here on the left where you can create different projects for different tasks. In here, when an agent completes a task, they will move it to the appropriate section of the Trello-style Kanban board. They also will leave comments on what they've done and give you updates as they go. You can also set goals for your agents. I told my guys they generate 20K in revenue within 4 months. I will buy them a Mac studio to live in. But that is essentially where you can add goals and then add projects to that goal in order to give them more context as to why they are doing this. Then on the main dashboard, we can see what agents are currently working and what they're doing. We can also see our budget. Now, for me, this is as important because I'm actually running this through multiple subscriptions. So really, this is actually just doing it based off the amount of tokens being used. It's still the same cost for me. But it also gives you a quick overview of how many tasks are in progress and how many are pending approvals. In your inbox, you'll get information about recent issues and things you might have to update or approve. You can see what's being worked on. You can see recent comments, things like that. Currently, my agents are working on a new memory plugin. I have been trying to work to solve memory as an issue for OpenClaw for a long time. And I'm using a combination of multiple other memory tools in order to create the kind of one all-in-one plugin that will handle the OpenClaw's entire memory system. So what does it actually look like when you want to set up your own OpenClaw company through Paperclip? So if we go down here on the left, you can see up here, this is actually my current company, Applied Leverage. And if I click plus, I can add a company. And here, I will just name it Acme Corp. And this is what you'll first see when you actually log in to Paperclip and set it up in the first place. The company is trying to, I don't know, give it a random goal, say achieve $500 MRR. Let's click next. So here, then you can create your first agent. You can give it a name. You can choose from it being a Claude Code agent, a Codex agent, an OpenCode agent, Pi agent, or even from the OpenClaw gateway. For now, let's just do Claude Code. Here you can set the directory you want it to operate from, but we can just leave this as the default one. And for the model, we can choose, let's say, Claude Opus 4.6. You can then test the adapter and make sure that it is working. All good, we're good to go. So let's go. Now, here's where we can actually give the first task to the CEO. And the task is create its heartbeat. And the heartbeat is a prompt that is injected on a timer. So for instance, in the heartbeat, you can tell it to check any open tasks and to assign them to agents or run through them themselves. But you can see here, Paperclip has its own setup of getting it to set up its agents MD using the CEO persona from the Paperclip GitHub repo. And then we get to do some other setup stuff. I'm going to click next on that. So now we're ready to launch. Let's open the issue. So I've got another company and we've got our CEO agent going live. It's currently actually setting itself up based on the instructions in the issue provided by the Paperclip initial prompt. And it is going to go through now and it is going to give itself its own agents MD, heartbeat, soul, tools, etc., etc., etc. So this is going to run through that. And then if we go to the org, you can see we currently just have the one agent. But we can add more agents. And it's the exact same as the others. So we can actually ask the CEO to create a new agent for us. And this is probably the easiest way to do it. But we can just do, I want to configure it myself. And here we can add another agent. So we can add an OpenCode agent, for instance. We'll name this one, say, the CTO. and we can choose its title and see who it reports to. So we can say its manager is the CEO. Open code local is set up, and we can actually select the model down here. So let's say we want this on Kimi coding. Let's test the environment. It's going to do a quick test to make sure it's working. There we go. It's working. So we'll leave the working directory empty as well. Thinking effort auto, everything else there is all good. And let's get it to run the heartbeat every 300 seconds. And we're good to go. So let's create that agent. So it's going to append approval. And if you look at your inbox, you'll see that we've got to approve the agent being created. So we'll approve that. Approval's confirmed. We can open the hired agent. There he is. And if we actually go down out to the org chart, we'll see our CTO has been added here. So let's go back to the dashboard, and we can see how the first issue is done. In the issue section, you can sort this either as a list or as a Kanban, which I find much easier to view. We can click in and see the progress of our agent here. So how do we actually set up Paperclip right from the start? Well, if you go to their website, paperclip.ing, they've got a single command line install for this. So you would simply copy that, run that in your terminal, and then it will run you through the full onboarding until you've got the whole thing set up like this. Here's where you can then actually set up your team to run like an actual company. You can decide on the different agents, the different setup. You can see actually Johnny's created a founding engineer as well. We go to the org, you can see now the founding engineer has been added. And you can see that it needs to approve this. Let's say approve. And now that's created too. So go back to the dashboard or back to the issues and click this one. You can see that the CEO gave me an update. CEO persona setup complete. Founding engineer hire submitted. Pending board approval. Download all the persona files. Set agent CEO, agent MDs by instructions path. Submitted hire request for a founding engineer. And we'll close this once the hire is approved. So the hire has been approved. So this should now close out the task once it is figured out that the hire has been approved. So how do we create a project? Let's click the plus button on the projects and let's name this something like website setup. We need to create a new website for Acme Corp. We provide agentic systems to SMBs. Create a landing page for our business. And assign our team to perform the development and get it live. So we're just going to say a local folder to do this. Say /nas/storage for this. And we'll create a project. Now, if we go here, you can see there's no issues yet, right? So let's create an issue and just say create and assign issues to agents. We can assign it to our CEO. Project website setup. Create, or say read the project description and create issues and assign to our agents to. You have full authority and autonomy. It's in the to-do, it's a critical, and we will create the issue. Now, the minute we create that, I switch to the board view here, click in. You can see that it's starting to think. It's reading through. It's going to read what our instruction is, and then it is going to start working on this project. As you see, I've got two companies running at the same time. You got as many companies as you want. You use companies as a way to organize just the different projects you're working on or the tasks that you're mainly focused on. You can use the same OpenClaw agents across multiple different companies, but this is just the easy way to organize it, is usually by projects. So you can see now it's starting to read through and plan out what to do. So it's going to check out the task. It's going to then create the issues. And if we go to this project again, in a moment, you can see it's actually moved it to in progress already. We should see some new issues being added to the backlog and to the to-do and to complete this project. So let us do this run for a second. We'll check back in a moment. So it's created our first to-do and it's assigned it to the founding engineer. So we can click into this. We can see what the founding engineer is working on. It's also created another issue, actually. If I go back to the website setup, you can see it's now got deploy Acme Corp to website rail, but it's blocked. So why is it blocked? Probably because we have not given it the railway issues. But it's left a comment on its first one. Create assign two issues for the website setup project. Acme Corp landing page, the founding engineer. It's probably production development once the page is built. Okay, the engineer builds it, CTO ships it live, sequence correctly, ACM4 unblocks, ACM3 completes. So great. So actually I just have to wait for ACM3 to complete, and then ACM4 should be unblocked. So we'll watch this run, and you can see actually it's given in the project details here all the instructions on what it should include. The hero, the feature services, how it works, social proof, CTA, etc. And it's going to go through and run through this now. So we got a comment on ACM4. I think it's going to say that it's just blocked because it's waiting on ACM3. Yes, it is. Check it again in the next heartbeat. So let's go back to the setup. We'll see how Finding Engineer is doing. Now, I know one of the questions you're going to ask me is, how do I set up my OpenClaw agents and not just Claude Code or OpenCode agents inside of the Paperclip setup? And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't even do it. My boy Johnny did it for me. I got Paperclip installed and set up. I went to my OpenClaw and I said, hey, Johnny, I need you to set up our company on Paperclip. It is fully configured and set up, ready to go. Create the company, add our agents to it, and set everything up appropriately. And my OpenClaw just did it. So if you're using this to manage OpenClaw agents, this is how I suggest you actually do it, because it gives your agents the ability to organize Paperclip themselves. To do this, you can actually generate an OpenClaw invite prompt. So you go down to settings and click this, and you can send this to your agent to then get it to be added to OpenClaw. So the minute you set up OpenClaw, this is what I would do straight away. I wouldn't even bother going through any of the adding agents myself unless I wanted to add a Claude Code or Codex agent. I would simply set up the company, then I would go to settings, generate the OpenClaw invite prompt, send that to my agent, and then get him running on this ASAP. So it looks like our runs have succeeded. So go back here. You can see now the only thing blocked is this one now. It's going to check on the next heartbeat, but how about we get this going again? So instead we make sure that we've got our CTO selected here. And we're going to say, the website is completed. Please get it live. Now we could get this live running on Railway as the agents originally planned, but for this demonstration, we're going to use here.now, which is free instant web hosting for agents. So you can actually copy this setup instruction, and we're just going to say, don't use Railway, use here.now following these instructions. Enter. So we'll now comment this, and see it'll start off a new run of our CTO agent. It'll read this comment, and it will get it going now. And momentarily, we should see our website live on here.now. But if you've had trouble managing your agents or getting an idea of what they're working on or what projects that they're developing, this is the #1 way I would suggest to manage your agents. I've tried every mission control out there. I've tried developing my own. None have been as good and as well featured and as stable as Paperclip so far. Paperclip makes it very easy to create new projects, to create new goals, to add new agents, to see the overall structure of your agent setup and optimize that, and just make it as easy as possible to use. So the site is now live. My agent has commented to let me know. So I can actually click the here.now link now to see it. There you go. It's created a full website for me. And yeah, sick. It crushed it. So let's go back here. I believe I can actually claim this and add my own domain and stuff like that. But this is a pretty great start. It does look like the typical kind of vibe coded site, but I'd give it zero kind of insight into design or anything like that. Yeah, this was a really good start. I don't see any major issues here, and this was done completely autonomously. My agents did it between them. You can see I've updated the project now. Everything is now done. This project is complete. So you can imagine then if you were to ask your agent, as I do, to plan out a full PRD for a project and to then create tasks in Paperclip and assign them to agents, they can do whole massive projects on their own. Going back to my main team here, the Applied Leverage Sprint is completed. It did a great job on creating my full website over at appliedleverage.io. That was all created via the agent team. They did a fantastic job on it. They did a great job on the site. They even made, a number of different quizzes and things like that. And, a full application system and everything for people to fill out forms that actually fully work. And yeah, they did an absolutely fantastic job on it. So this is just one example of a project created by my agent team. They also worked on multiple things in the background. As I said, this is just the sprint. They created an initial memory stack plugin for me, completely autonomously. And they're working on a new update to that right now. So I can see where they currently are, a number of things blocked. So I can either go in here and comment myself, or I can ask Johnny to go in and update everything based on the block tools, or they will do this automatically on their heartbeat. They should go and review and reassign and things like that. So this is Paperclip. I highly suggest it if you are looking to build out an agent team and to organize them yourself. If you don't want to go through even the effort of creating OpenClaw agents, you can just do it with Claude Code or Codex or any model that's available through OpenCode. And yeah, it's fantastic. It's definitely how I'm going to be running things from now on. I will be posting regular updates on how my agents are managing their own setup and how they are working towards their goal of generating 20K in revenue, so I get them on Mac Studio. But if you want to check out what they're working on, this is the blog they run themselves. It's over at os.appliedleverage.io. Johnny writes blogs every week. They update discoveries on things they've found out or discovered along the way. And ADRs, which are architectural records that they update as we make major changes to our current agent architecture. This has been a fun tool as well to just watch what they're working on and how they're operating. And yeah, in the meantime, check out my other video on the OpenClaw memory stack. And I am working on that plugin, as you saw. So soon this will be a one-click install plugin for your OpenClaw to give a persistent memory that it never forgets anything, never forgets anything across sessions or tools or anything like that. So I'll keep you guys updated on that one, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.